All right, guys, here's a recap of yesterday. I didn't have time to get it out yesterday after the close, but yesterday was a good type of day where you have a big um, number, after CPI, and it's favorable for the market. You had a big picture breakdown in the dollar, and it just puts a bid to things, and it becomes kind of a one-way trade that you can, if you make some money out of the gates and do well with it, then you can kind of add to it later in the day and be a little bit more aggressive. But I like to kind of just put some money in the P&L first, and then you can kind of add to some things. So I did that on the NASDAQ. I'll show you. And then we were talking a lot this week about just kind of the moves that happen out in and around the open. So this is right out of the gates. So we're not really focused on cycles as much right on the open. And there's really only two moves. So as soon as you open the first 1 minute, 2 minute bar, you'll tend to get the first move up that I try to go with, and then the risk is below the low. And then a lot of times you'll get this candle will grow, and in real time it gets green, or in this case white, right? And then sometimes that'll retrace. So the candle you get in, it moves in your favor. Candle obviously gets larger, and then sometimes it comes back down. And when it gets red or orange in this case, and it shows the other color, I'll add to it. And then if it comes back up, take. So the first push is usually like this, and then there's a secondary push. That's kind of what you're after on the open. The other style is it comes up and then it reverses. And so if you go with it long, it reverses on you. You can cut the risk and or get short like something else. Like if you're long Russell, you go with short S&P. And then there usually follow through after that. And you use some of the same 1 minute techniques and skills that we use to follow that trend. But that's usually the main action around the open. It's just try to simplify it. It's rare that it opens and just kind of goes sideways. Sometimes you'll get some chop. If you create chop right on the open, then you can kind of create a box around that price action, and then you trade break out of that. Usually that comes within 30 minutes later. So the secondary move, this initial move is usually within the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You're trying to catch the first. This can happen in the first 3 bars. So this is a 5-minute chart. That's 20 minutes after that bar right there. But back to the choppy scenario. Once you get outside of that chop, then the cycles kind of start to develop, 10, 10:30. So between that time frame into lunch is a little bit different. But right out of the gate, I took Russell long. You can see this wick develop. There's a lot of back and forth, but it was long, take profit, added, took some profit. And then, this is the BCI concept. And when you get bearish candle like that and it's ignored, usually there's more follow through, so you can add to that. And I ended up not adding the Russell, but I ended up adding to NASDAQ. Mouse is acting up. 1 second. So on the NASDAQ, I ended up buying this dip. And then I add and reduce. And this is into the old highs right here. So I took on that. All right. And then what you ended up doing is you kind of broke the 1 minute trend. Let me zoom in. You ended up breaking. There's a swing line I teach my guys. It's right there. Once you take that out, that changes the 1 minute trend to bearish. So I believe I took the S&P short for that a little bit. But already had made good money here and good money here. All right, so didn't want to give back too much on the short. But when we got back to the bands here in the 5 minute, I started going a little bit contrarian long. And then the reverse happens. So once you start to break the swing line, the 1 minute turns up, and then I added to that back into these highs. And this was essentially like a 15-minute cycle right there. And I think I was pretty much done for the day. And what that looked like. was this up. So here's Nasdaq long, adding, reducing, taking some off, buying some back, taking some off, taking some off, adding again, taking some off, taking some off. I was doing the same, I guess, on the minis. Oh, I went long minis first, just to put a little bit of P&L in there before I got more aggressive on the Nasdaq. This is me playing the short side, kind of hedging. I think I took S&P short also. And then this is the contrarian long. And then you can see it's kind of busy on the tick chart there also on the way up. And so this is kind of what the end of this move looked like. So adding and reducing. So took into that 1 minute cycle, bought back. This is the tick chart again. Sold, bought, sold, bought, sold. And let's see what I think I have the Russell. Here's that Russell right out of the gate in the morning. I was pretty much done. Then I just played Nasdaq, and then when we got back down on the cycle low here, took a couple trades with the 1 minute. Got back to the same location low on the cycle, in and out a few times there as well. Yeah, this is just the morning, so I was up pretty good, like $4,300, and then thought if we got another cycle down on the 5 minute, I'd have another shot at doing a little bit more. You can see here, this is me hedging a little bit on the Russell. So this is the short side. So short into the top of that candle, was getting long. And I just had one sale. The market didn't roll over. I was booking my gains, didn't need the short anymore, took that up. So that was that there. And that was kind of it, guys. It was just a day where it could kind of add and reduce with a lot of momentum. And put up some pretty big days on that. This is me trading the bottom of the 5 minute cycle. Yeah, so pretty big day. What else? Today you had Nasdaq. The bot did a good job on catching some of the longs. It was playing Russell short. This trend flipped bullish. It stayed out of the way for that for the most part. This was 30-minute chart. There was an hourly chart that we ended up selling some on, but the Nasdaq on the long side, the key was just staying net long, trying to follow the Nasdaq as much as we could. And the Nasdaq came out this morning, I think. Yeah, up here. So I'm still so when I come out of my futures, I had one more lot I sold at the end of the day out of my long. And then I just bought some upside calls at like 15,800 in case we get one more final move. I think this market's melting up. You have the usual dealer type of flow where there's a lot of call buying. Dealers sell the calls. The people that are buying the calls, that kind of they have to hedge that, buy more futures. So we're in full melt up mode, and I don't see why probably don't get back to these highs back here. Just been a power trend really on this 8. So there'll probably be some more opportunities near term day trade on the long side. And that's kind of all I have time for today, guys. If you want to join us, cycleedgecapital.com. This is the algo service, $250 to sign up. You get the Cycle Edge Crypto and the Independent Pro, where we're trading a whole bunch of different markets, different time frames, swing trade, long-term core trading. And this is the coaching in inner circle group. We trade together Tuesdays and Thursdays. We had a session this morning. Today's trading was a little bit slower than yesterday, but yeah, so that's what we do. That's how to get involved. And yeah, I'll talk to hopefully some of you in the Discord.